What are you messing with over there?
Well, I'm bolting these panels together to try to put on top of the Bimini to get a solar array going so we can try to keep our batteries charged. So what I'm doing is I'm putting panels in parallel in series. Now, I always get confused what's parallel and what's series. I think parallel is when you take them two together and put together. Series is where you make two into one, and that's, I think, what I'm doing. I'll kind of show you with the 3 panels, well, 2 panels. Then when I get the 4th panel bolted up, I'll show you how I'm going to do that. What I'm trying to do, believe it or not, is constructed, but each one of these panels are 12 volt. They're 100 watt panels, and our battery bank is 24 volts. So what you do is you take the positive and minus, you hook them together. Like that. So now we have a positive here, because it's marked positive, and a negative here. So what we did, if we take a voltometer and put in here, it took a 12 volt panel, 12 volt panel, put them together to make 24 volts out of here. So it's going to match our battery bank. It still remains at 100 watts though. So 2 panels at 24 volts at 100 watts. So what I'm going to do is do the same thing with these 2 panels together, and then I'm going to parallel them together. So I'll have 200 watts of solar coming out of this array at 24 volts. Let's get that next panel. How do we combine these 2 together?
Positive and negative.
No, positive and positive.
Why?
Because that's how we make them together to go 200 watts. So now we have the paralleling kit, where we plug that in. Plug this in, so the 2 positives are together. And we'll take the negatives. So now, if we put a voltmeter in here, we're getting 24 volts out of here, and potentially 200 watts. Cut the center out so I can get it through without fighting it too much. And there's the center core. So I have never done this before. And what would have been really good is to look at the panels and figure out which end is positive and which end is negative. It says positive on it. This says negative. This end should be positive. I'm glad I looked. So, now I've never done this before. This is my first time.
Did you go to YouTube University?
I did not, actually. So I think what I do is I pull this off like this. I'm going to try one, and if I mess it up, then I'll go to YouTube University. I think it's going to go right here like this. Okay, then I think we're going to take it and push this up here, like that, till it snaps. And we're going to take this, screw this up here, to make it watertight. This one. Like I say, I've never done this before. If you guys have a better way of doing it, please let me know, because this is the first time I've ever done this. Put it in the comments below. Now we're going to test it to see if it actually works. So what we're going to do is do a continuity test. We're going to put those together and find the other end of this, which is right here. So, if it works, you should hear that. So I'll do this one over here. I think I did it. Those are ready to go. So now what we have to do is take these, hook them up to the panel, run them down and down in the engine room, and hook them up to the breaker down there. So what do you say, Nancy? Want to drill some holes?
No.
Little ones? Because what we have is this guy. which is ooh ah pretty. So what we'll do is we'll drill a hole to have all these go through on the back side. In this rubber piece, I'll drill 4 holes in it, put slots on the outside to put the wires in, and then put it in here and it makes it watertight. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So we'll set this off to the side.
Explain away, Lucy.
All right, so what we're going to do now is, these are what we're using right now for our solar panels. And as you see, a little bit different in size. So these are going to work better, but this is not a good way to do it. So what we're going to do is put this right up here so we can run the cables into here, down and over and in, get them out of our way. But to do that, I want to make sure that I've got a hole big enough, which I do in case I poke them through, and the hole small enough so when I drill it, I have enough meat to put screws in to hold it to the wall. So now we've got the right hole saw that I'm going to use. The question is where to put it.
So let me get this straight. You are going to add another hole to my boat?
No. Ventilation port that I'm going to seal. But I'm thinking right here.
Oh, Lord help me, this
The reason being is if we put another top on here, another Bimini or hardtop, right here's where our mount's going to go.
Well, you know we're going to, because these people are already planning it and haven't asked us for our input.
You ready?
Go.
What?
My poor boat. She has another
There's
hole.
a hole. Let there be a hole. Mark one of them. So with that rubber gasket I put behind this, squeeze it up against the fiberglass on a flat surface, and that's what makes it water tight on that side of it. So here's one here. Okay. Negative. Let's see here. So now the negative. Gonna push through here. Ouch. Just in case you didn't know, black is hot. Here's the negative. Put that up to here. Take all these. And again, all this is temporary because we're getting a whole new Bimini, maybe very soon. So, how about let's go down below, we'll throw the breakers on, we'll look at our Victron app and see what happens. Okay, so what we've done is we've wired everything at this point. I flipped the breakers on the battery side to turn on. So if you see, we're showing a PV charge of 0 watts. And then On the phone, you see a solar and a solar all bringing 0 watts. So what I'm going to do is go throw the breakers on the solar panel. You can watch the wattage jump up. Okay, you ready?
Go.
The port.
Okay, it says PV charger 0 watts.
Yep. There it goes.
There it goes, yep.
So that one's pretty well shaded. Starboard.
Holy crap, Batman. You're climbing.
So I'm going to move the boom back to the center so it unshades everything, and we'll see what happens.
278, 281.
Whoa, that's pretty good for those panels. So let's see here. Let's see what each panel's doing here. Okay, so the port panel, this is live data, is producing 80 watts. It's about half shaded right now. The starboard panel is producing 208, 16, 15 watts. So it's getting 7 amps at 31 volts. So it's producing 27.8 volts in the batteries, putting 7.5 amps in it. So I think that's pretty good. Theoretically, we're using current in and out of the batteries is only 40 watts, 70 watts now. So that's all changing.
Yay!
So that makes me happy to see almost 300 watts. And I think as the day goes by, you're going to see it peak more than that. So I'm just going to button it up here. And I think I'm going to call it good. Project complete.